it's Friday, and it means that it's time for House Gig, our weekly music feature. This evening, Justine Giles brings us a song about a lifetime of love, the kind of love that is so powerful it goes unsaid. Giles is a singer-songwriter from Sudbury, now living in Calgary. She spoke with Jessica Pope about the song Poppy.
Tell me about Poppy, Ivan Giles. Who was your grandfather as a man?
Yeah, well, man, that's exactly why I wrote this song. I just felt like he was such a character that I had to write about, and he's certainly someone that will never be forgotten. He was a very stubborn man, and he was someone who had so much pride and joy in his heart for his family and for all of his friends, and I just remember him always talking about other people behind their back in such a loving way to your face. But, you know, to your face, he would never tell you that he was proud of you. So, I just felt like I had to write this song in his honor and also for the people in my family as well, because I think sometimes it's hard when you grow up in an environment like that, and we forget that people are proud of us, right? So, yeah, he was a very, very strong-headed man, and he worked in the mines for many years, moved from Newfoundland to Sudbury, and that's, how my family was started, and we all just kind of landed in Sudbury.
How do you think working in the mines in Sudbury shaped his character?
I think they go through a lot in the mines. It plays a lot with your mental health. I think it plays a lot with also your hearing. He had terrible hearing, and you could never understand what he was saying. He had kind of a funny voice as well, and so it's such an interesting thing.
I feel like your Poppy, people listening are probably thinking about their own grandfathers and the similarities, these stoic characters. I really like the line, he'd never tell you to your face, but behind your back he made sure everyone knew your place. I think a lot of people will recognize that kind of temperament in their own grandfathers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And thank you. Like, it's an honor, and it's so nice to be able to connect with people through music again. It's been a challenging year for many, and it's so nice just to talk about music and something that connects us all.
Did your grandfather know about your music career?
He did, but what's really funny is he was fairly far removed from it. He's someone that, in his last few years of life, stayed at home quite a bit and didn't really go out much. There was one time where he did come out to one of my New Year's Eve shows, and he turned to my nan, which is my grandmother, and he said, "Oh, she can actually sing." And I just thought it was the funniest thing, because, the grandmothers would come out to my shows and that kind of thing, and it was kind of his first experience. And also, I think it was about the year before he passed away, he actually had the opportunity to hear one of my songs on the radio, and I think it was on CBC. And from what I've heard, again, not through him directly, but through someone else, that it made him kind of tear up. So it's kind of nice to know that he got to experience that a little bit before he passed.
You must miss him terribly.
I do. I think everyone does. And my dad's a musician as well, and we've had a few memorial shows, and, a few years after he's passed, we try to have that celebration once a year just to kind of keep his memory alive. And we share a lot of laughs these days within my family, because there's just so many stories that they just last the test of time. It's one of those things. There's just so many stories. He was just a special man, and thank you so much for the opportunity to share about it. And to those people out there who can relate, I'm grateful that you can relate, but also, if this year shows us anything, human connection is super important. And even if you come from a family of not being very vocal about your love, it may be time to kind of reconsider that. This is a pandemic, and love is the only thing keeping us all together. So as scary as it can be, I think it's important to try to express our love as much as we can.
Watching everyone grieving.